Hey guys, it's Matt Wavy here. Today I'm going to show you how to mix trap drums. Let's get it! Hey, what's going on guys? I have the Pro Tools session pulled up right now. And this is what the drum kit sounds like with all the plugins. Jeez! Alright, that sounds pretty sick. I'm just gonna mute all the plugins and we'll go from there. Alright, so first off, let's set the level for the kick. The kick should be panned dead center on a mono track. Once that's set, grab any VU meter and place it into the master channel. The goal right now is to make sure that the kick is hitting around -6 dB. The reason for this is that in hip hop, the kick is one of the loudest elements in the mix. Setting the kick to -6 dB allows us enough headroom so that we do not distort the master fader. Also, since the kick is one of the loudest elements of the mix, we will use it as an anchor to set the levels for the rest of the instruments. When compressing the kick, set the ratio to 4:1. This allows for a punchier kick. To begin, set the release to very fast, and then set the attack to very slow. I like to set the gain to around 3 dB since I'm going to have at most 6 dB of gain reduction. Now bring down the threshold until you see some gain reduction. Once you see some gain reduction, bring it back slightly and begin to move up the attack. Once the sound gets duller, bring it back so that you don't crush all the dynamics. To begin parallel compression, first make a new stereo aux track. Once that's set, insert a compressor into the aux track. Make sure the attack is very fast and the release is very fast. Next, bus the compressor into the kick. Make sure the bus send is set to 0. There should be at least 10 dB of gain reduction. Once that's finished, you can now mix the heavily compressed signal with the kick. When equalizing the kick, I like to start with the low mid frequency and use a Q factor between 2 and 3. Anything higher will create a narrow bandwidth, which is good for removing specific frequencies. I then raise the gain to at least 10 dB and scan around 200 to 400 Hz, searching for a boxy or muddy sound. After that, I dip between 1 to 3 dB so that it makes a difference but does not drastically change the sound. I then grab the mid frequency and do the same thing. So right now I have the snare and the clap mixed together. The snare is panned 2 degrees to the left, and this is done in the drummer's perspective. As you can see, the snare is not as loud as the kick. Sometimes the snare can be too loud and overpower the mix. I have an equalizer going to the snare, with a high-pass filter going to 100 Hz. These are frequencies that are going to be used by other instruments, such as the bass or kick. By taking out frequencies that aren't needed by certain instruments, other instruments are able to shine and break through the mix. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed part 1 of mixing trap drums and Pro Tools. Next week we'll have hi-hats, percussions, crashes, and group effects. So stay tuned and subscribe, and also check me on Instagram at MattWavy. Alright guys.